All right, I think the stupid ads are finally done. What's up, everyone? Happy Monday. Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays. I know I do, because I didn't put the damn green screen up. Hang on. What's an ad? It's when you take two... Yeah, the illusion's complete. Agent 57, what is up, brother? And SM, quick on the draw as usual. I swear that dude's got a bot set up that as soon as I hit go live, it's just like, send emotes. Send all the emotes. What's up? I'm trying to get the lab started up, but it's chilling for a second. Hope everybody had a fantastic Monday. I finally got that darn report knocked out. It was just, you know what sucks is, there actually wasn't a lot of findings on the report. It was just a ton of data to go through. And I like to joke with my friends that know what I do, and I'm like, and they'll be like, hey, what kind of elite hacker stuff you doing today? I'm like, freaking Excel, man. I'm Excel hacking, and not even in the fun way. My favorite though is like when I'm working with teams that are like they're not in non-US hours, and so I'll send them a question. I won't hear back from them all day, but then all of a sudden at like 6 o'clock at night, I'll get a reply back. I'm like, thanks, man. Pretty much, yeah. In fact, that's why I started taking all of my notes inside of OneNote, just because OneNote integrates so well with Word. So when I need to migrate over screenshots, it's real easy. Connect, damn you. So we went through a little bit of another adventure last night. Here, while the lab's booting up, let me bring this up real quick. So what we've got is, and I mentioned this before actually, I think I still have it in my notes up here. Do I? Let's see. No, I don't see it in here. Okay. It's fine. We'll just make a new note for it. So what we've got here is whenever we generate a payload for our listeners, right? So every listener, it's going to make a couple of things. It's going to make an executable. It's going to make a service executable, which is slightly different for Windows systems. It's also going to make it's going to make a PS1 file for PowerShell. It's going to make a DLL, and it's going to make a raw binary shellcode. So if we had an exploit, wanted to put it in to get a beacon, we could. So what happened was, the service executables were working. The PS1 was working. I never checked the DLLs or the bin files because I don't typically use them. However, the executables were not working. So we went through a whole shebang of redoing these. And after we did that, the executables were working again. But the service executables, they stopped working. And the PS1 was just the PS1. It was doing its thing. So we had to go through and re-debug our AV evasions last night to get that stuff working again. So it's been a whole lot of fighting with our AV evasion stuff. Alright, let's get some stuff booted up here. And let's get us a session on Workstation DOS. Yeah, here we go. We'll go ahead and start with the web beacon in here today, and we'll hit this up some more. Other than knocking out that report, it was a pretty chill day. Just had to make sure that thing got done, and of course, like the second I go to walk my dog, it starts raining today. So I usually will walk her first thing in the morning. I'll walk her around lunchtime, but I didn't eat lunch today, so I went to go walk her like at the end of my workday, and I felt really bad for her. And like the second we step outside, it starts raining. I'm like, damn it! So she won't go to the bathroom in the rain. She's a princess. Alright, let's get booted up and connected to stuff. I suspect I know what happened here in this code. Like, that's not this one, it's this one over here. This is the DLL. So in our patch C, one thing we had was remember, we had like just broken up this line into multiple lines so we could bust up this byte sequence so that it wouldn't be statically recognized. Well, so we set these up, right? And then we had an integer storing get tick count, but then we had it multiplied and a bunch of other things to it. I think what was happening was we were probably busting up that integer and it was overflowing to something else and then breaking it. So instead, all we did is actually looked up get tick count is actually a D word. So we defined a D word variable called fart because we are extra classy here. And then we just XOR fart against itself, which is not an uncommon tactic to see if you want to zero something out. Rather than saying set it to 0, you can XOR it against itself. Hey, Genesis, what's up? Yes, not sponsored by Jocko yet. So apparently, according to, I think it was Agent 57 that said it, I have to complete a Murph to get sponsored by Jocko. So I might record that once we hit some kind of milestone. And oh god, I'm gonna puke on camera. I know it. I gotta start working out again before I try that. Yeah, so there was a... So the Murph exercises are meant to be done in groups. You do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and a total of then 300 squats. And actually, I think there's a run to it also. This is not the Murph that I had heard described to me. Yeah. Maybe it was Stealth Hacks that said it. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Get out of there. Oh, there you are. Never mind, you can go back there. I thought she was trying to like dig into one of my boxes of cables. Little weirdo. Yeah, actually, I think there's a ruck with it. Let's see. There it is. Yeah, it's a 1 mile run with a weight vest, 100 pull-ups, which I honestly can't even do 2 pull-ups right now, so I don't know how the fuck I'm going to do that. 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and then another 1 mile run. Say what David Harkins say, get hard. I'm trying, bro. I actually gotta figure out how I'm gonna get my sleep sorted out, because I can only stream late at night, and so I gotta figure out something. I don't know what it's gonna be just yet, but it's just something has to give in the priority list, and so I chose exercise because I prioritized my food, my sleep, and spending time with the kids. So I think I might have a workaround to the schedule if I can make it work. But dude, kids are just nothing but freaking little chaos injectors. That's why we're starting late. The APT was being extra AP. These out. And this one too. All right, so we did something really cool last night, though. We got our mass lateral movement technique going with SCCM. So that's awesome. Just do 8 hours of work in 2 hours. Yeah, no kidding. I'm training for an ultra anything that's over 26.2 miles. Are you really, Genesis? Because damn, those ultra marathoners, I'm like, because running for me, running has always been a challenge. It doesn't help that I have giant watermelon calves because I was so overweight when I was younger, and so it's just like just trying to slug 2 giant sandbags back and forth. Running wears my ass out, and I'm a damn good sprinter though. I can sprint. I'm like a dwarf, natural born sprinter, lethal over short distances. Oh, so Beef, what we did here, this is the built-in code for the beacon to do just a very basic XOR, right? So what happens is this is the line that these XOR operations, that's what Defender was flagging our payload on. So instead, what we did is we took PTR, we made it a pointer. We took buffer, we made it a boof. And then we just did a little bit of extra like nonsense here in the middle before we actually did the XOR operation, and that was enough to break it up and actually make it work right. Before, it was something like, I think we did like int x equals get tick count times 3 plus 31337 or something. And I think what happens, tick count can be actually a really large integer. I think we were overflowing the 32-bit integer and jacking it up. But doing it this way, it seems to work just fine. Actually, I wanted to test something over here on the farmer. Let's do something real quick. Let's what do I want to do? Yeah, get down, Panda. Currently working with her on not jumping on people because she doesn't weigh very much, but she weighs a huge amount compared to my children, and they want to play with her, but she jumps on them, and they get scared. Like, stop it. You don't know how much people they will play with you if you just don't jump on them. All right, I know what I'm gonna do. Let's do that. Actually, I want to let's link over to our. We should have a system shell running as a backdoor on this box here. We also need to adjust our sleep schedule. That's weird. This is taking longer than usual. Did you know that a greyhound will outrun a cheetah over the long distance? Anything over 400 to 500 meters, the dog wins? Damn! Oh, you know what I think? I think actually we swapped that. I think we swapped the Privest beacon to TCP. So let's do a net stat real quick and we'll check it out. Yep, there it is, 31338. Okay, that's why I didn't connect to it. So instead of using the link command, link is just whenever we're going to connect to a name pipe, we're going to connect to a TCP port, so we use the connect command. There we go. So now with our system shell, yeah, we're going to persist with the scheduled task. And then we're going to tell it what PowerShell command we want to run. So, I actually got to remember how we set this up. And I need to go adjust this, actually. I want to adjust the... Yeah, it's literally just the PowerShell command. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think we broke this. Because we tried to get it to do base64 encode. Yeah, we even left ourselves a note, not encoding properly. So what we can do, though, is we can actually adjust this rather than... We can still have parameters defined here, right? Because what we're doing is we're building up our arguments, and we can have our base64 payload. Right, no, we can't. Damn. Because it's not encoding correctly. Just realized that. So I don't know how to get this to encode correctly. A cheetah. A cheetah. That's somebody who doesn't play ferret games, right? You know what we can do, actually? I just thought about something. What we can do is then actually just take this out right here. That's all we have to do. Because $2 is the only value we're passing to this, so we can just say our base64. There we go. That'll work. Take this out. Take that out. Take that out. We can clean this up. This was actually one of the first, let's say, helper functions we wrote. So it's not nearly as refined as our later functions. You can actually see, if you look at this on the GitHub, you'll see the code improve the further down the script goes, because we just keep appending to it, right? So you're seeing like the level 1 attempts, and then finally we just keep increasing it and improving the complexity and the value of the quality of the code as it goes down the file. So we need to change this. Instead of base PowerShell commands, let's do base64 PowerShell. Let's actually make it think. How did our help actually come back? Because I want to clean this up, because this is going to be an important task. I'm going to get ready to run it. Okay, so that's what I thought. We need to adjust this. Actually, it's real easy to adjust this. What we could do is just do a dot append here. Put a new line right here. In fact, we're going to do this again. And we're going to say is takes a base 64 encoded command for PowerShell. We run out of it. Yeah, that should be good right there. And I'm just going to put base 64 right here. There we go. Let's save that. Let's go reload that real fast. And then we'll do this. Because what I actually wanted to do is I thought it might be easier to just have... Now that I think about it, this might not be the best way. I was thinking I would want to do a persistence on Workstation 2 to give us a DNS beacon back, because we always have to connect to Workstation 2. The problem is if we don't actually connect to Workstation 2, we don't have a full desktop environment to work with. So I don't know if I want to... I do want to do this. I'm actually glad I'm revisiting this command. All right, brother. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night. Go reload this real quick. I did want to do this, and I still might. Yeah, in fact, screw it. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Let's go reload this one. There we go. Well, that's not handy. I must have... Did I typo something in the code here? Oh, I sure did. Does persistence stuff. There we go. We'll reload this, and then we're actually going to move on to a different section here. Yeah. We're going to look at some more domain takeover stuff. How in the world do I cat on a Windows machine? Trying to get this name. Oh, type. TYPE. So if you come over here and, like, say, use the type command, or if you're on PowerShell, you can use, like, get content. So if you're in... Let's see if I can do it. Yeah. So if you're in, like, command.exe, you can use the type command. So, and I can say, like, // payloads, SMB, PS1. Oh, is it not to understand that? Oh, it's just type. There you go. So type works in PowerShell. So you can do that. You can also do, I think it's get content. Yeah, get tag content. That'll do it. You're not going to be the first or the last, Genesis, for ChatGPT failing you. Hey, there we go. Takes a base64 encoded command for PowerShell to run hourly. Cool. So what we can do is we can set this, and then let's go grab one of our base64 payloads out of our notes. Let's go find one for DNS in here. I guess we didn't make one for DNS, did we? I guess actually we can just have it run the HTTP one. No, because it's going to run a system. Let me think about this. Yeah, the thing that caught me off guard was I thought type was an executable. I guess it's not. I guess it's built into command.exe. Dude, yeah, Windows quirks they're weird, dude. All right, I'm trying to think about this because what we have is a download and exec cradle, right? Which works, however, it only works under certain contexts. Because what's going to happen is when we run this schedule task, I believe it's going to run as system. And the problem is the system user doesn't exist in the domain, so it can't authenticate to the squid proxy, which means it can't go run this download and exec cradle. Let me think about something here. Actually, there was something that came up that was really cool. Get down, Panda. Let me go grab a link real quick. I just realized I forgot to do something. Hang on, bear with me one sec, y'all. All right, there we go. Let's see here. Where did I drop that link? I think I dropped it over. Yeah, here we go. Link. This is something that came across my desk this morning. Sigma Potato. So this Gaudi repository is a derivative of the God Potato project, aiming to enhance the original work's functionality and user friendliness. With my bread and butter generally being PowerShell implementation and visual formatting, the primary focus is on enhancing PowerShell support and output verbosity for a more intuitive user experience. Now, the problem is, I think this is... Actually, it looks like... I don't know if we can just use the invoke Sigma Potato PS1 here. Because if we can, I can copy that over. I just wanted to mess with this a bit and see what it does. So he's got some error correction in here. Command exceeds character limit. So it looks like you actually are supposed to build this. I want to try something real fast here. Hang on one second. Let me do something. I'm going to try something real fast, y'all. I guess I don't have it installed. Dang. Alright, well that was bust. I want to download this zip file. We'll see if my antivirus flips its shit again. It's not the virus. It's not the tumor. Hang on, y'all. You bastard. My local AV is flipping shit about it. Act the planet! Love that sound. Hang on 1 second. Come. What the hell? Windows Defender, you're killing me. All right, not gonna fight with that tonight, and I can't download it into the lab, so I'll mess with it later. I want to just download the zip file and see how big it is, and see if I might be able to compress it and get it into the freaking lab to mess with it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that tonight. All right, so I'm trying to think of something here. I'm trying to think how I want this to work. Because what we're going to need to do is, I wanted to have this download and execute a DNS binary. I think instead what we might have to do is just drop a binary onto disk and have it run. So actually, let's do that, because this is going to be very handy come exam time. Actually, let's do this. Let's specify PowerShell, and then you can do the base64 command. And then, or we can do this. So instead of PowerShell, we could say, what is this? We'll say local. And then we'll say path here. There we go. Takes a yeah, let me do this. Rearrange and stuff here, make it look nice and pretty. But so we can either have it take or a path to an executable to run hourly. Okay. There we go. We're going to do it like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a little bit of a distinction here. So we're going to say, so this is actually going to be $2 now. So what we'll say is, rather than being base 64 payload, this is just going to be payload. Actually, I want to undo that. Never mind. Hang on. So what we'll do is, this is actually going to become the third positional variable, and we're going to say it's either PowerShell or local in here. I'm going to change it to PSH. So let's do a little check here real quick. Let's say, let's do an if-else. There we go. So let's do if. We're going to check if $2 is equal to PSH. Then it's going to do all this stuff. So I'm going to put that in the first if block. Else if $2 equals local. There we go. Then we're going to do something a little bit different here. So instead of base 64 payload, I'm going to comment that out. So what we're going to say is, we're going to say just $payload. That's going to equal $3. And then we're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to adjust this. Copy. Drop. Oh, I didn't copy it. I'm still stuck in my Mac muscle memory. I'm trying to use Alt instead of Control. There we go. So we're going to do a schedule task. The command we're going to run here, instead of being PowerShell, we're going to take this out, and we're going to do... I got to reformat this entire string. Let's see here. So the command we want to run is going to be... There we go. And this is actually going to be... I'm messing this up. We're doing my inline string concatenate. Because then we're going to take our payload command and we're going to drop that in there. So that's going to be $payload. There we go. Yeah. So we'll drop in our payload, and then what we'll do is we'll just kind of close that up. Perfect. So now this is going to create our schedule task, and it's going to make our payload path to it. And we can take out some of these other things. So we don't need... Yeah, so we're going to call it updater with a random value. I don't think we even need this line right here. This tac A. I'm just going to comment that out. In fact, I'm just going to delete it. We don't need it. There we go. This should build our command line parameters perfectly, and then we can just run this. Actually, we're going to do one more else statement here. And what we'll do is we're going to do a B error where say, hey, you didn't supply us proper parameters. Because nothing would suck worse than having to try and debug this on the exam. So that's why we're doing it now. We're getting ahead of ourselves to try and... we're getting a little bit ahead so that way we can have a little bit friendlier error handling so we can adjust quickly if needed. Let's go reboot this. So we'll reload it. Oops, we're missing a comma or a semicolon somewhere. Actually, I don't want to close that one. Let's see. Yeah, that should be right. Let's see here. Those are all semicolon ended. That one's all semicolon ended. Am I missing something here? Where did it find the error? Because usually what happens is it's actually the line after or before that. Schedule task equals. Okay. Yep, there it is. I knew it was in there somewhere. So that would be really nice. Like, hey, dumbass, you know, you're missing a semicolon. No, it says the next line gets screwed up. So trying to debug this on the fly in the exam can be a pain in the ass. So that's why we're doing it now. There we go. So let's do something here. Let's cd to C:\Windows. And let's do an ls real quick. Because we might have DNS. We might have a DNS beacon like already chilling out in here. You know, even if we do, I want to upload a new one because we've made changes to the payloads. DNSX64.exe. And then what we'll do now is we're going to do persistence with the schedule task. We'll do the local method. And we're going to say C:\Windows \DNS_x64.exe. Let's just try this and see if it works. Cool. So it says we added a scheduled task that's going to run every hour that's going to execute our DNS payload. Nice. This is KEIJ. I think we could do get. I think it's scheduled task. I think we just tell it tag name. I'm gonna give it this name here. I want to see if this is actually the correct thing to do. They're gonna become keyboard cowboys, command line warriors. That was weird. Our beacon spazzed out for a second. Let's see, did it work? I don't know. God, I want to do a remix of Let It Go now. Just says, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. PowerShell. Get scheduled task. What is this? Yeah, it's get scheduled task. I knew that was. Oh, maybe it doesn't take a name parameter. That's what. God, that was really slow, though. Why was it taking so damn long? Look at that. For some reason, our interactive beacon just, like, spazzes out. Okay, cool. So it's there. It's ready. All right, cool. We're going to just let that chill for a minute. I think it's going to work. No, we're not, because I'm impatient. So let's go pull up the schedule task. I'm going to restart that task manually. It should be real easy to spot because it's just going to end up right here. So what is our status on lay schedule task? So it's going to say it's running. It's going to that one's going to kind of spaz out a little bit, but that's fine. We should hopefully get a DNS beacon back. Unless, just realized, we uploaded a binary that is still the old build. I don't remember, did we rebuild all of our payloads after we had to redo the AV evasion? God, I'm trying to think now. Okay, there's one right there. Let's see which one this is. Hopefully this is the schedule task. Let me get the process list here. Because we can check the parent ID. So the parent ID is 3632. Let's see. Yeah, that should be the parent process ID. So where's 3632? Did I read that right? Yeah, 3632. Where the hell are you? Oh, it's right there, yeah. Okay, so that's unfortunate because this is the one we ran from command.exe. There we go. It's right in front of my damn face. So, less than ideal because I was hoping that the one that we set for the schedule task was going to run. So I want to exit this and kill it. We're going to remove that out of there, dump this. The task is not yet run. End that task, and then run it again. So let me look at the properties of this. The actions are... Now that is not correct. Look at that. It's running PowerShell. What the shit? Hold on. Was that the one we actually did run? Hang on. This should have been update KEIJ. What is this one called? Yeah, KEIJ. Why did it run it as PowerShell? That is not correct. Okay. So that would explain why it didn't run. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to end this. We're going to deuce it out of here. Delete. I didn't actually mean to spend the time on this, but it is something we've been meaning to do. Like, we've basically built up a little bit of tech debt from when we were going through and first learning how to do the aggressor scripts in the beginning, and they're very basic and not robust. All right, Genesis, take care, man. Hack the Box is a good platform. By the way, I've got some more Hack the Box keys from Falcon to give out. So I'm trying to think of something fun to do with it. We did trivia last time, but I don't know. Well, I'll think of something else we'll do this time. All right, let's go check our code real fast here. Actually, let's go take a look at the output from our command that we ran here, right? So for some reason it did the command. Did we not reload the script when we did this? Okay, I'm going to try running that same command again. Close that out. No, look at that. For some reason the command was still PowerShell. Even though we told it local. Let me do something here real quick. Let's do... we'll just log it out real quick. So blog to $1. We're going to say $2 equals $2. There we go. We're going to log this out because we should be seeing like either PSH or local right here. And for it to not be doing either one of those is kind of weird. Reload. I'm going to go kill this one. Because we should have a new update one here that wants to run PowerShell. Delete. I want to try something real quick, actually. Worked. Okay, so that's what it is. Our string match is not working because there is no... See that? Okay, so let's check something. So this is if $2 equals PSH. Hello, Panda. Get down. Let me think about this. Why the hell would this not work? This language is so esoteric. Close all this shit. Close. I got too many tabs open. Strings. Here we go. How do we do matching against strings? Let's see. That's cool. You could do string multiplication. That's interesting. Oh, here we go. So there's a comparator. How do you compare this? Oh, so rather than doing the double equals, we should have been using CMP. That's what the difference is here. So this would be CMP. And this would be CMP. Which makes no sense on why it should be that.
User Greylorn is online.
Hey, Greylorn. So, yeah, pretty much we're going through a course from 0 Point Security called RTO, Red Team Operator course. And we actually have gone through the course 2 times now. Once without Defender enabled, once with Defender enabled. And now we're doing it again, and we're automating a bunch of repetitive tasks in an aggressor script. And this aggressor script has actually grown pretty substantial. As you can see, it's down to like over 1,000 lines here. But one thing you can actually notice on this script as we've been developing it, the code has progressively gotten better. So there's some really kind of janky code still at the beginning of it. So I got a wild hair in my booty today, and I decided I wanted to check and see, like, did some of these earlier tasks that I did actually work? Can we upgrade them? Can we make them work better? So that's what I'm doing right now. This one's for doing some persistent schedule tasks for just making sure that you can like hang out in the background. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. This language is weird though. Have you done aggressor scripting before, Greylorn? Because I get a good mix of folks in here. Some of them are like very new to security, and some of them are like, yeah, I've been doing this for like 70 years. Let's see. All right, now that we figured out the string compare, let's go actually try and load this up and see if it works. Reload this sucker. So this actually should give us an invalid. No, you shouldn't have done any of this. What are you doing? Wait, why did it do $2 equals $2? This language is so weird. I'm gonna try something here. It did this. It did the string of place here for $2. I'm like, why would you do that? I haven't beat White and Cobalt Strike yet. I've been in the security space for like 10 years and just started penetration testing last year. Badass, man. I've been a pen tester for 6 years. And yeah, I've been in IT for 14 years, and I like 10 of those were security. I was blue team for, I did like IT help desk kind of at a community college, and it was actually a really great experience. And then after I graduated from college, I did blue teaming for 4 years, and then the last 6 years, I've been doing penetration testing. So it's been a blast. All right, is this going to work now? I don't get what this is doing, what it's doing. Let me go check something real quick down here. Oh, okay, so before we were just comparing the size, we were actually comparing the values. Hang on, I'm gonna comment all this code out real quick. I'm just gonna have it log. Hopefully this is gonna come back as either true or false right here. Let's go see. -10. Okay, I don't care. God, this is so dumb. I don't get why the hell comparing strings is such a pain in the ass in this language. Just like the freaking JavaScript, not the JavaScript, the regex. Oh my lord. This language makes me want to punch a kitten. Determine if strings match the specified pattern. Why would you... Why the hell would you even not just... Alright, so apparently there's an is-match parameter. That's what we should have been using. Who the hell compares strings to figure out if one string is greater or lesser than the other? That's so dumb. I swear, the guy who wrote this language was on crack. Let's see here. Yep, is match. Okay. Let's try this now. I really should have just tried it here first. In fact, I'm going to do that again, because that would be the smart thing to do before I just start slinging edits in the code. Should have learned that lesson by now. Right, reload the script, rerun it. Now we get nothing. Oh, joy. Alright. That might not be necessarily a bad thing. Take this out. Let's just do this. Hey, Stealth, what's up, dude? Hack the planet! You know what I probably will finally, tonight after the stream, Stealth, I'll start working on some more sounds for you guys to blast at me. I've got at least one in mind. I'll try to go find a couple others. I'm sure I need the Hey Listen from Zelda. Hey, listen! Oh, I can't get my voice that high. That hurt. Alright, let me try something here. I'm gonna put this in. Let's see. Executing PowerShell assistance. And I'm going to drop another one down here. Instead of PowerShell, we're going to do executing local binary persistence. There we go. Just so we have a little additional logging going on here.
Hack the planet!
Hack the planet! Agent 57. You guys in the Hack the Planets. Alright, let me see what happens here. Hey, invalid parameters. Okay, good. Actually, okay, I see what it's doing now. This will work out pretty good. But one of the things we might want to do is watching war games. God, I love war games. And I totally did not appreciate war games when I was younger. It actually wasn't until I was older and I had learned more about technology and I went and rewatched War Games, and I'm like, it blew my mind. I'm like, oh god, the guys who wrote this movie actually did a really good job researching this. Oh, so here, let me show you real quick. Spoiler. So here's the, hang on. Gotta get the window adjusted. So here's the chat down here, right? There's a little button right here for floppy disks. When you click that, it brings up the channel point rewards over here. So what they're doing is they're hitting the 300 point hack the planet right here. And then just redeem it.
Hack the planet!
And there's also my favorite one that you guys can use to tell me that I'm muted like an idiot.
Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
Good old Gunny. I beat you to it. Does it time? I think I put a timer on it. Like, I think it can be used every 3 minutes. Stealth, is it showing that the timer's like in play right now?
Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
I guess not. That was way less than 3 minutes. All the fun things that we're learning how to bypass or jack with the permissions here. All right, so we need to do one other thing. Oh, you know what? I know why. Return. We're missing a statement right here. Because if it errors out, it should return. Instead, what happened last time is it errored, but then it didn't return from the alias function. It just went to go execute the assembly. But if it gets to this code block, there's nothing to execute. So it shouldn't reach this last line here. That should fix that. All right. We especially don't want that to just hang out. Even though this is a pretty innocuous error, in the backend, you have to think it still went through the process of sending the binary to the beacon to sideload it and then run it just to get an error message. So you're creating a lot of noise for nothing. So let's reload this bitch. Reload. Invalid parameters. Perfect. So now let's try this again. Let's do lay local. All right, so this is the updater 3QJT. Let's go look at that real quick. I have the nerd one still saved. Agent 57, I will work on it tonight. You damn slave drivers. I always want more and more alerts to spam at me. It's okay, I secretly love them. Let's see here. What's our action? Okay, cool. So this is supposed to start at 2:30, which was like a minute ago. That's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run it right now. And we should see a new DNS check-in. Hey, look at that. Awesome. Check in. All right, now we're cooking with propane. Let's see, DNS, awesome. Do a PS. I want to check something real quick. We do Panda. Panda, my little hacking sidekick. Awesome, you can see that this spawned as a child to service host. Perfect, so we know it did actually run from the scheduled task. Yes. Oh, I gotta figure out how to get that on screen, like where it actually shows like the what's his Kip from Napoleon Dynamite. Yes. Oh god, that movie. All right, cool. So that one worked. We had one other persistence method though. Let's see. What was our second sysat persistence? Oh, WMI events. There we go. So actually, we did do a check on this one. We checked, is Beacon 1 an admin? We checked that. This was really cool though. If you remember this one, it uses Power Alert to create triggers for WMI events. We give it the process name and the listener. Nice. This actually even created a payload for us and dropped it in there. Awesome. This one was actually, you can see even just from doing this one, the persistence task, the scheduled task persistence versus the WMI event scheduled task persist, or the WMI event persistence, the code quality improved. So like just every single function, the code quality gets a tiny bit better. And I could tell this was actually like, I think before I understood the regex super well. Hello, Panda. What are you doing? You act like I never spent any time with you today. You spent all day in the office with me this morning. I feel like as a pen tester, it's always going to feel behind on something, where I never feel caught up. I was just talking to my wife. She has a list of books that are like, she reads like a lot of books on Libby, and she has like to read later list, and the list is hundreds of titles long, right? She'd have to quit her job and be a professional reader to make a dent in that list. I'm the same way with GitHub repos. I have a GitHub list of stuff that I want to check out. There's probably 200 repos deep. Let's see. So I've learned some malware development, in-depth understanding of network pen testing and web apps, but Cobalt Strike seems new and like I'm starting over as a noob. Yeah, dude, that's pretty much how everything is, especially once you start learning how to like dig in deep and wield it efficiently. I am more about, I'd rather have a smaller tool set of tools that I know how to execute with precision than I do a large array of tools that I only half-assed know how to use. I dig this music so much. All right, cool. So we had that. All right, cool. I'm not worried about the other Privesk helpers and the other ones here. I think we're good there. Awesome. Let's go down to look at, did we do anything for when we were looking at like domain takeovers? Let's see. I don't think we did for silver tickets. Let's see. Les silver? No, we did not. That's all right. But we did make a Rubius helper here. So you know what we could do is actually, we could go... Yeah, we did some GPO abuse. We did MS SQL helpers. Instance domain user password. That's right. All right, so yeah, we've got quite a bit of stuff going in here. Let's make some. Let's make a new section. We'll call this takeover attacks. And the first one's going to be doing silver tickets. So silver tickets. Hi ho, silver away. Let's see. So what do we need for a silver ticket? I'm trying to remember. Silver ticket, we just need their hash in some form, either their DES or their AES 256. Yeah. Let me double check something because I'm looking through the documentation for the lab. Silver ticket. I want to see how CrowdStrike defines this. Because silver ticket I thought was just requesting it using the hash. So rather than having to pass the hash for NTLM authentication, you would go get a Kerberos ticket and request a TGT. So a ticket in cybersecurity, silver ticket is a forged authentication ticket often created when an attacker steals an account password. So silver ticket attacks use this authentication to forge ticket granting service tickets. Yeah, so the TGT. All right, cool. As opposed to a, let's look for this silver versus golden ticket, because I get these backwards all the time. Oh man, that's a lot of data he crammed in there. Can I minimize this? No, can't. Did that do it? So when a customer needs to use a service, he asks for a ticket granting service from the KDC. This process goes through here, blah, blah, blah. If an attacker who builds this ticket is forged ticket, it's called a silver ticket. Oh, wait, okay, hold on. If an attacker manages to extract the password or NT hash of a service account, he can then forge a service TGS by choosing the information he wants to put in order to access that service. That's right. So this is typically why you're going to use this for like a machine or a service. So if you get, let's say, like the MySQL service hash, you could forge that to the machine and say, oh, by the way, I have permissions of domain admin. And this machine is going to trust it by default because it's assuming that, oh, hey, this was encrypted with my secret hash, so this must have come from the domain controller. Not necessarily. So the only way this would actually do this is, let me bring up something real quick. Let's review Le Kerberos real quick. So remember, there's 4 stages to Kerberos, and the 4th stage is actually optional. First stage, get the TGT, request it and receive it. To do this, the user encrypts data with their hash. The domain controller can decrypt it with their hash, so that proves that they have access to the password. That's all that does. Doesn't necessarily prove who they are, just proves that whoever requested it has access to the password. Then, once the TGT's back, we send the TGT back to the domain controller and say, hey, I want to access this service over here. It does some checks. If you have access to the service at the domain level, then it sends it back. Finally, you send the TGS, and also when this TGS comes back, it's encrypted by the, it's encrypted using your target's hash. So when you get it back, you can't read it because you don't have the hash. But when you send it over to here, the application server decrypts it with their hash, and then they know, oh, okay, this must have come from the domain controller because it was somebody who had access to my secret hash. So if you can skip these first 2 stages and jump right to here, this is a silver ticket, right here. The optional 4th stage is pack validation, when most, and this is not on by default in Windows environments. This would say, the server would say, hey, let me go double check and make sure your ticket granting service ticket actually came from the domain controller. So it would know if it was actually valid or not. So this would defeat a silver ticket attack, but it's not going to. Because no one I've ever seen actually turns this on. Let's see, close that. All right. Let's go do something real quick. Let's kind of walk through this. Let's go over to our system beacon, which we actually have 2, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna exit. And 1 and 2. Remove. There we go. Beacon exited. Okay. So here from our system beacon, I'm gonna do something. Let's do. I'm trying to remember what it is. I think it's Secure Lassa. Done? Let's try. Nope, that's not right. MSV, login passwords, list all available providers, curve TGTs, trust, backup keys, tickets. Which one do I want to use here? Maybe it's login passwords. Let's try that. That brings up an amazing argument for rotating the ticket. How often should you rotate it? So the tickets are only good for 10 hours. They self-rotate because in that, close the diagram, but whenever the thing that you send over to the domain controller to get your TGT, the TGT rec, that actually is an encrypted timestamp. And there's a couple other things in there, but that's how the domain controller knows, hey, somebody didn't just capture this TGT request and is replaying it. Yeah, pretty much the only way to invalidate that would be to rotate an account's password 2 times. And that's going to effectively knock them out of the environment because they won't have their current password and their backup password both have changed. Oh, I'm out of Jackal. Why are you so spazzy? Why are you so spazzy tonight? Okay. Look. I'm working, Panda. Getting stuff done. We're doing Mimic Cats. Yes, we are. Doing Mimic Cats. Alright, let me see this gave me what I wanted here. I'm trying to remember. It kind of does. This gives us our workstation 2 NTLM and SHA-1 hashes. Not exactly what I was hoping for. Up, down. Let's see. Let's actually try dumping Kerberos here. Let me see if that will work. Because there's a particular field I'm looking for. So we have some Kerberos for J King. Oh, this is actually a lot easier with Rubius. Believe it or not. Well, actually, this part's not because getting the machine hash, we actually probably have to go dump that out of LSA probably.
Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
Bullshit, Stealth, you can't hear me. I was watching a very brief interview with Stanley Kubrick about the Gunny whenever because originally he wasn't hired to play the drill sergeant. He was hired as a technical assessor, but he would come in with his drill instructor uniform and he would just play the part in order to teach the guy who was supposed to be playing it. And finally they just said, yeah, we're just going to go with him. And the best line about that interview is they said he had an endless repertoire of obscenities. What you doing, dog? You're just feeling crazy tonight. No, get down. Yep. I'm trying to remember how I did something here real quick. Stand by, everyone. Let me check something. I think I might have needed to dump this through the SAM. Let me see. No, that was it. Yeah, Mimi Cats. Sakura La Sala. Log on passwords. That should have given me the thing that I wanted. Maybe I'm just blind and I missed it. Let's see. I mean, it gives us the NTLM, and we can use the NTLM for this. And I think we can also use the SHA-1. Let me look at something real quick. Rubius silver tickets. Yeah, I know you goblins do have a bunch to burn. All right, let me see here. Where's our silver ticket attack? Silver, 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 silver. Here we go. Okay, yeah, because we can specify the RC4. also specify the AES 256. Let me think about how I want to do this. So I'm trying to plan out how I want to build this silver ticket functionality, because let's go to the iPad of knowledge here. So what we're going to be looking at, this is the silver ticket. So this is a forged TGS. So what do we need? We need a machine. That's terrible. What kind of E is that? We need a machine account hash. That's what we need. Kaiju, we're working on celebrating now that you're here, bro. We're doing some more extensions to our aggressor script. And so we're going to look at doing some silver and golden and diamond and platinum and unobtainium tickets. Basically just abusing more Kerberos. But I'm trying to basically make all these helper functions in a way that's going to be pretty... Yeah. You're like Christopher Walken. The party doesn't start till I walk in. Hey. Such a stupid joke. All right, so yeah, that's what we're doing. We're partying with some silver tickets, real quick. And what am I even writing here? Ticket. Silver ticket. All right, so we need a machine account hash. What else are we gonna need here? Look something. So we need to know targets. That's going to be the service, e.g. SIFs. We're going to need to know the target user, the user domain and password. Let's see. Oh, I think we're also going to need the user SID. Their security identifier. I need to double check this. This is why I'm double checking it now. Before the exam hits. That's all right. Give me 1 sec, guys. I'll be right back. I got to get some water. I'm muted. That's another thing I could do here. Let's see. Bender. Back, baby. There we go. All right, I got at least 2 new sound alerts planned for you, Agent 57. Okay, so I think we're gonna need the user domain, password, and SID. That should be it, actually. I think that's what we need. So we need the machine account hash. We're also going to need the target. Actually, I want to do a little bit of a helper in here. Have you ever had an experience where you spot a threat and bring it up in a meeting and your superiors assure you that the threat won't come to pass, and then you wait a few days and it comes to pass? Yes. Because...
Welcome, Agent.
Hey, it worked! Okay. Finally! I've been waiting for that to happen. Wait, what is up with this? Why is my... Did I accidentally zoom in? Oh, thanks for joining. Thanks for, what is it? Oh my god, I don't know what this thing is doing. I zoomed in somehow. But, well, thanks for, the subscription, bud. Appreciate it. How are we doing on our sub-target? I don't even remember. Can't check it right now. Oh, we're at 48 of 65. It just said right there. Cool. Yeah, 65 was kind of like, I was like, this isn't be a nice target for, hey, here's where we're going to be. What the hell's going on? Why is it like half off the screen? Still lost. I don't get why this thing... Oh, okay. I'll restart in a minute. It's annoying me. All right, let's go ahead and start building this thing now. Actually, I want to do something here real quick. Before I do that, I was actually checking something here in the silver information. So we can use the DES RC4 AES-128 or AES-256. Interesting that we can't use the SHA-1. Very interesting. Yeah, Kaiju, actually what happened in one of my cases was I told them they have a shit ton of what's called shadow IT. And I don't blame users for building shadow IT. What that is they go through and they build their own technology solutions without IT's input at all. And they do this typically because they need to get their job done. They're concerned about their job and getting shit done. And if the IT team isn't being enabling for them, isn't helping them be empowered and have a solution, they're going to go do something themselves. And chances are it's going to be very faulty and it's going to be very insecure. So I had warned my uppers that I was like, hey guys, we have a shit ton of shadow IT here. We don't even know where our processes go. All these processes are undocumented. You got dudes over here accessing databases from an Excel sheet. I was like, what's going on? Well, it turns out that it got even worse than that. There was a bunch of shadow IT and cloud services, and one of those cloud services got breached and it leaked a whole shit ton of data. So, yeah. It's like, if they don't want to take your advice, just ask them, hey, why did you even hire me? You know, what is my role here? All right, let's see here. Let's go try this real quick. We dumped Kerberos keys, but I don't see exactly what I'm looking for in here. Maybe I'm just blind. Let's see. We dump Kerberos again. You know what? For shits and giggles, I'm gonna try something else here real quick. Even though we're running a system, I shouldn't have to do this. I want to run this elevated. There's so much junk here. Yeah, this is not giving me the output I want, because there's another command that when we run it, it dumps out like the DES, the AES 256, and a whole shit ton of others, but I gotta remember what that command is. Yeah, this is not what I'm seeing for this, though. So weird. Little buffer in here. All right. I'm going to dump the login passwords again, which I'm pretty certain I tried, and I did not get this kind of information. Yep, getting the NTLM in the SHA-1. About Dave Bomble's complete networking fundamentals course. How much was that, Kaiju? I'm curious because actually I went looking at some of Dave's earlier works. Like David Bomble, by the way, if you don't know him, he's actually a super smart fella. David Bombal. He's up on YouTube and maybe TikTok. Not sure. I've been exploring TikTok since I decided to go ahead and make one on there. I don't really recommend it, but you know, some people like it. Yeah, so this guy, at Dave Bumble. I'm going to drop a link for him real fast here. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, so go check him out. I don't think he does very much live stuff at all. Yeah, no, all of his are, he just does produce videos. But if you go look at like some of his videos from like the very beginning, his oldest ones, they're on like all Cisco, Cisco networking stuff. Oh, it's on Udemy? Awesome. Is it like the latest version of the CCNA stuff? Because honestly, I might go buy it just to look through it, and I want to see what's changed in the last 14 years since I took it. Damn, I can't believe that was 14 years ago. I was so stoked for passing my CCNA. Last updated 2020. That's still 10 years after I took it. I'd hope they'd updated that shit. Because I took Offensive Security's OSCP in about 2010, and then I took it again in 2018, and it hadn't changed much. The CCNA, yeah. If nothing else, yeah, it's going to expire in 3 years. But if nothing else, people don't care if your cert expired. They care, did you ever have it? Pretty much. Unless you're going to be going into a networking role where you do it every day, then they might want you to have it kept up. And in fact, sometimes you can get certain bonuses through whoever's vendoring your Cisco equipment if you have X number of Cisco certified employees on payroll. So that might be in the benefit to the company. Say, hey, yeah, we'll go spend a little bit for you to go up your certification, but then we get like, you know, a 2% discount on $1 million order. So yeah, I think it's probably still worth it. I mean, I probably this is a little bit of a bias on my personal opinion because I do like it. Um, Cisco stuff is honestly really overpriced for what it does, but they do. They've been doing something right because they keep going. They keep going. You know what I should do? Actually, I should see if I could get my buddy Kurt to come on the stream and like we'll do like an interview because he actually works at Cisco. He went to go work at Cisco right after we finished our CC and CCNA classes. I think he finished the CCNP, and the dude's just super duper smart. And we used to joke that we were work husbands because we would go in there and we'd just be like in the lab together. He was one of the only people I could stand to work with because everybody else was just kind of too slow for me. I really wanted to just get in there and nail this stuff. I'm like, yeah. And I would do stuff repeatedly. Like I would go through, like run through an exercise of just making up a fake network and run through, get it all connected, and then just tear it down. And that's how I got really good at like just doing those repetitive tasks. Okay, I think I'm done staring at the documents. Oh, there we go. That's the command I wanted. It was E keys. Encryption keys. Sakurlasa. E keys. There we go. That's the 256 right there. That is what I wanted for workstation 2. Right there. Now, the downside is, guess what this does? Opens up a handle to LSAS. So if we really wanted to make this OPSEC secure, what we do is we go get a handle for LSASI. So now I actually want to go check something real quick. Mimikat's E-keys. Chill out, dog. Oh, there we go. So I was checking the YouTube stream. It just crashed for a second and came back. Now it's doing it again. Yeah, because this was actually what I wanted. There's a visual bug. Like, notice this one. It says the RC4, yada, 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 yada. Down here, it's calls them all DES. There's some kind of visual bug with this version of Mimikatz that's doing it. But this is the 256 right here. All right. Let's go try something real quick. So once we have that, let's go start building out our function. We kind of got our requirements built out. I'm actually going to do this a little bit. Now we'll do this anyway. So we'll do another alias. We're going to call this... we're just going to call this Kerberos. Yeah, silver ticket. And then we'll do a beacon command register. Let's do this. So the command is going to be Kerberos silver ticket. Request a silver ticket. And we'll say use previous to request a silver TGS. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to put in some usages next. So one thing that also is weird about sleep is if I had left this like this without the space, I think it would have broken the formatting. It's got some weird enforced white spacing in some places. So we'll drop this in here. So what did we say we're going to need here? So we need the machine account hash to make it work. So probably what we're going to do is we're actually going to specify... We're going to specify the user. Let me double check something real fast, y'all. a silver TGS. Yeah, there we go. So what we're gonna need is the user, their password, their domain, and their SID. And then the very last thing we're gonna need is the service. There we go. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parameters in here. So let's do a quick check here. So if, actually we gotta do something different here. Let's do $size equals the size of the arguments array. There we go. And what we'll do is if size equals, let's see, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because the first one is always the beacon. I heard a really good entry point these days for loading is Palo Alto. Actually, yeah. And you know what? Actually, I could ask one of the guys if y'all want to do this. Probably we do it on maybe a Saturday. I don't know the probability of this, but actually I know a couple of guys who are just really sharp Palo Alto guys. And so I could try and have them say like, hey man, some Saturday, do you want to come on the stream and we'll chat for like an hour or let people ask questions, like whatever they want. Because we do have a lot of people that are trying to come in and be new into IT in general, not just cybersecurity. So it's very hard to jump directly into cybersecurity versus going through IT and learning a lot of basic system management and then jumping into security. Not saying it can't be done. I'm saying it's more difficult and it has different pitfalls versus the entry to IT and then specializing in security. So let's start parsing this out. So user is going to equal @_2, but 1. Copy that. We'll just adjust it as we need it. So that's our user. We're going to say pass. That's going to be number 2. Say domain. That's going to be 3. And then our SID. That's going to be number 4. And then the last thing is going to be the service. Yeah, we'll just call it SRB. There you go. That's going to be number 5. Perfect. So then we can start building out our arguments here. So let's do something real quick. Let's do an else statement in here. B error to $1. We're going to say invalid parameters. And then a return statement, so it busts out of the alias thing. And then the last thing we're doing out here is our B execute assembly, which actually doesn't put the execute assembly here. There we go. So we'll do this one as this is gonna be $1. Assembly is gonna be $Rubius, and then the parameters. We're gonna make this $parameters here. All right, so then we can start building out our parameters. So we'll do. So this is going to equal. Actually, we can do this just kind of in order here. Let's see. So the first thing we need is our user. So we're going to do, how to specify the user? /user. Actually, there's no space there. It's just going to be $. So that'll be $user right here. Keep it real simple. And then Next thing we're gonna do, so all we're doing is just building up a long string here. User, yeah. Let's do domain. And then let's see, next thing we need to pass it in. And even though these are on multiple lines, I'm just doing this for visually reading it real fast. These are actually all going to concatenate into a single long line here. So then we'll do, what else do we need? We need the password. No, we don't need the password, actually. I take that back. I tell you that, this is actually, this is incorrect. Because this is not the user's password. This is going to be the hash. Oh, that's right. We need to specify the hash now. Let me think. Because we can take in different hash values. Well, we actually could take in both. Because the AES-256 and the NTLM have a defined length. They're always the same size, right? But unfortunately, what this means is we're going to have to go redo... We're going to have to redo this. So, pass is no longer $2 here. So now that's going to be domain. So let's go readjust our array here. That's going to be 2, that's going to be 3, that's going to be 4. Actually, that's still going to be 5. So what we're going to do here is this is going to be the hash. There we go. So now that once we have the hash, we can actually go through and start working on this again. So yes, users 1, domain 2, SID 3, hash 4, service 5. Perfect. Okay. Let's do the SID here. That's just going to be $SID. And then once we have that done, let's see. We're going to have the hash that we need. So oh, you notice realize hash should actually be 4 here. So we got two options. We can either manually specify what it's going to be. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Hash type : hash right here. And then what'll happen is rather than having it specify the hash right here, we're going to specify it when we pass it to. So this would be like AES-256 : the 256 hash. That's going to be the very simplest way to do this without getting overly complex and checking how long the string is. We'll do $hash right here. And then what? Let's see. Yeah, so it's just the hash : that. Actually, that should just be it. Hey, Oler, hack the planet, man. Take care. Thanks for hanging out, dude. I appreciate all y'all coming and hanging out and asking questions because I really do like helping folks out. It gives me a lot of psychic income. So I really appreciate it. I know the stream runs kind of late here in the US, but, you know, it kind of just... Only time I can stream, man. Can't stream during the day. Can't stream earlier in the afternoon. I wish I could because this is actually... there's analytics on the Twitch backend, and I was checking it. This is actually like one of the lulls in the science and tech category. So I was like, I wish I could do more streaming in science and tech during the day because the stream would obviously perform better. But you know what? I've seen plenty of people that stream late at night and they have built audiences. So I'm not concerned about it. I know it's less than optimal, but hey, it works. We get to come hang out. It's a good time. All right, so we're going to specify the hash there. And last thing we just need is the service. Let's see. Is it service? Is that what it is? Yes, service. And $service. And then there's actually one more that we need to throw onto the end here, which is no wrap. Because it's going to return some data to us, and we don't want it line wrapped. We want it in one continuous line. Let's see. That actually should work right there. So we should just be able to run the Kerberos silver ticket attack, give it this information here. User, domain, SID, hash type service. And we should be good. I think one thing we'll have to do is we'll have to get the user's SID value, though. So we got to figure out how we're going to get Nina Lamb's SID. I'm pretty sure that's it. Power view. I think it's convert. Convert from SID. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is in Power View. I want to try something real quick. Because in the documentation, I have Nina's SID. I'll try this, just so I make sure I've got this absolutely correct. So let's go. We got to do this actually as Bob Farmer. So we'll do import Power View. Convert from SID, and I think we do TAC object SID. We might just be able to pass it directly to it. Let's do PowerBit convert from SID. Let's just see if this works. Oh, interesting. That just comes back as dev. That's weird. Let me go double check something else real quick in my private notes. Crap, where did I put those? I'm trying to remember now. Actually, tell you what, let's just go check the... Let's go check here. Why not just RTFM? So in here, we didn't specify the SID. Oh, so SIDS here, that's what it is. I believe SIDS is, this is additional security identifiers you want to include in the TGS. Hey, Soul Knight, what's up, dude? So we're sitting here now, we're doing some helper functions in Aggressor for Kerberos abuses. So I'm trying to check something here real quick. Did I get this whole thing? Let me try this one more time here. Copy. Object SID. TAC object SID. All right, I want to try something. Take this out. What we're trying to verify is, I think this SID command is actually adding an additional SID. What's this adding, though? It just says dev slash. don't get it. Hang on one sec, guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, wife needed to ask me a question. I'm not sorry. I love her. She's awesome. At least it's not like that one night I heard thumping against the wall and I thought somebody was trying to bust into my house and I found out it was just Panda's tail slapping the wall so hard. Her tail's like a damn riding crop. She comes running past me with that tail wagging 100 miles an hour and slaps me with it. It's like somebody hit me in the leg with a leather riding crop. Oh, I know what's happening here. Okay, so what's happening here? This SID, this is the SID of the domain, the dev domain. Because when we build the silver ticket, we can put whatever groups we want to in there. So it's going to automatically add groups like 520, 512, 513. Those are like enterprise admin, domain admin, stuff like that. Okay, that's it. Let me actually go change this real quick. Let's go update our code here a little bit. Let's do domain SID. If we wanted to like make this really robust, what we could do is we could come through and what is it? We could come through and actually have it go get the domain automatically, but that's a little bit too automagical. I kind of want a tiny bit more control over it. So, okay, so we're gonna do the domain SID, the hash type, and hash, and service. Okay. Yeah, so I think this will work now. So let's go reload this. I want to try running it. And in fact, we're going to try this. And actually, I'm going to try doing it with bfarmer, and we're going to test something out. So let's go over to our system shell right here. Dang it, you know what I want to do? Hang on. Let's do a PS real quick. Let's go steal J King's token and let's go get a session 6072. Token, steal, and use 6072. Let's go jump over to workstation 1 real quick. So we'll jump using invoke decom to WKSTN TAC 1. And let's use SMB 1. That should be fine. There we go. So now we've got a elevated session on workstation 1 here. Place it. I want to try something real quick. Elevate using a service executable. Hey, there we go. Cool. So let's look at our attack graph here. So that elevate command kind of works sometimes, like if you're running as an administrator, you can elevate the system. So we started with this one. This was our backdoor. We jumped up to workstation 1 as J King, and then we elevated to a system shell. So from here, what I want to do is we're going to run some Mimikatz, and we're going to do Sucker Lasa E keys. So we can get, because what we want to do is we want to be able to get this right here. Perfect. Let's go dump this over in some notes real quick. We're going to put this in the most epic buffer ever, which is Notepad. Awesome. So we want this value right here. So what we're gonna do, actually, we're gonna come over to Bee Farmer. Let me try something. So I want to double check something. So let's do something here. So over here, I'm gonna rev to self real fast. So now we dropped our impersonation of J King. And if I come over here and I try to LS WKSTN TAC 1 C dollar, so the C drive, it's going to fail with access denied. Because we're running as an account that doesn't exist anywhere else in the network. It literally only exists on this one machine that we're on. But once we go generate this TGS and we run it and we get it back, we should be good. That was not what I needed. So what we're going to need here is we need this SID, which is the domain SID. Copy that. Put that right there. Okay, we should be good now. Let's go ahead and do this. Actually, I think, yeah, we can do that. We should be able to do that from this one right here. So let me check something real quick. Use. What did I call this? Yeah, it's been an hour, so we got our DNS call back. That's funny. Remove that. We don't need it. Let's see. So now I want to look at this again. What did I call this? Kerberos. Oh, I called it Kerberos. Kerberos silver ticket. There we go. Let's go reload our script real fast, and then let's test this out. See if we can do this. Because if there's a couple of combinations of tickets that we can use, that if we do this twice, we get 2 different service tickets, then we can do stuff like PS exec. Let's go over to this one. Kerberos silver ticket. There we go. Let's check the help function. What do you mean there's no help available? You're full of shit. Kerberos silver ticket. I literally just defined that. Hold on, did I screw that up? Let me see. 2. Yep, sure did. That should have a comma right there. That would explain why it didn't come up. Let's reload. Get this going again. Hey, there we go. All right. Oh, it's typoed right there, too. Damn it. That's all right. It's still going to work. Yeah, get down. Get down. Get down, Spazzy. All right, so user, we're going to do Nina Lamb. And domain is going to be dev.cyberbotic.io. In fact, I want to make another note here, because that's not just the domain we're going to use. It's going to be the domain FQDN. The fully qualified domain name. And then we're going to drop in the domain SID. That's going to be from here. And then our hash type, which is going to be AES256. We'll grab that out of our notes real quick. Boom. And then the service, which would be, we want to do sys. What's it going to be? Yeah, it's sys / the target. So WKSTN TAC1 .dev.cyberbotic.io. Let's run this and see what happens. File add is not a process assembly. What? Oh, it's because that's supposed to be a $sign. It's not an array. All right, try this again. So we're going to reload. And then we'll try this one more time. Help if we fix the typos. We have a typo in here. Service is not correct. Oh, it's because we didn't do service, we did serve. Had a typo in it. Let's reload. Let's go try and run this again real quick. I'm back headed jet for a moment. One of my VMs on my hypervisor hung. Ooh, that sucks. 64 gigs of memory, it was spiking. Dude, I know, I'm kind of worried about what's going to happen with the VMware stuff in Broadcom. Yeah. I realized the ads might have been running their stealth, but what I was saying is I'm kind of worried about what's going to happen with VMware and Broadcom. Because, I mean, it's kind of cool that they have open source some more of it for like, or not open source, but they've given free licenses for like home use. That is pretty cool. But honestly, whenever we go through and do the home build after I finish the RTO course, probably what we're going to do is we're going to do it in Proxmox. I'm going to wipe my server back to flat. We're going to start from scratch with it. And we're just going to do that all in Proxmox. Because if you haven't seen this tool, Proxmox, it is a very cool open source alternative to what is it, to like ESXi. So it's a really neat tool. I'll drop this over in the chat. Now it works a bit differently, but it is a low-level hypervisor, right? You're running it about as close to the bare metal as you can. One of the great things about it though is you can run containers in it, like LXC containers. And so those actually run really efficiently. So I actually used to have, before I migrated to a different server, and now I just keep my old chunky server as a lab server, I ran everything in containers, and they worked fantastic. All right, cool. So we got our silver ticket. That's awesome. Actually, I want to check something in the Rubius stocks real quick. Interesting. Creating argument list for use with Rubius, golden, or silver commands. Interesting. Dude, I really like this old, I think it's a T7600 Dell server. And they're fairly inexpensive. They're bulletproof. It's been running fantastic for the entire time I've had it. It can hold 2 Xeons and up to 256 gigs of RAM. And the Xeons and the RAM are not that expensive, so you can take your time and upgrade it over time. In fact, I'm probably going to go finish upgrading the RAM on it, so that way we have plenty of memory to use for the lab build out. And that's what we're going to do. Yeah, me too. Sometimes it gets to be a real pain in the butt. Running like VMware Workstation. It's neat and all, but you're gonna have to contend with, having all the service contention with Windows. Plus, you can't run VMware Workstation if you're using crap. What is it? If you're using WSL, because a lot of people don't realize this. Hank, gotta reconnect the iPad. There we go. Bring this up. Why is it all zoomed in funky? Hold on, there's something wrong with the scaling here. I hit something on it. I don't know what though. Because I'm actually writing on the screen, but it's showing up here for some reason. And it didn't used to do that. Yeah, in fact, I know it's doing it because you can't see the taskbar up top anymore. Oh, you piece of shit. That's a screenshot. Alright, so why is this... I don't get why this is doing this. There we go. Good lord. Fighting with my tech. Alright. So let's look at this real quick. So a lot of people don't realize you can't run VMware Workstation if you're running WSL. This is a no-go. And here's why. VMware Workstation wants to have access directly to the CPU. However, if you're running WSL, what happens is you're actually running your entire operating system inside of Hyper-V. So what happens now is your OS stack looks like this. You're going to have your hardware. Then you're going to have Hyper-V. And then inside Hyper-V, you're going to have your operating system. But then you're also going to have your WSL stuff. And you're going to have other side VMs running in here. So what happens now is you try to stack VMware on top of this. And it's like, nah, bro. Can't do that. And it's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's the base idea of it. And so, and one of the things I think it was, I want to say Credential Guard was the main issue where these conflicted. It's been a couple years since I tried this, but this was the big issue, is that basically the VMware hypervisor running inside Windows was conflicting with Hyper-V down here. Such a pain. I've run into some networking issues with it. You don't have much control with the free version. I also want to build a Hackintosh. Yeah, those are fun. Hackintosh, for anybody who doesn't know, that's typically installing Apple macOS is restricted to installing it on Mac hardware. But there's ways that you can simulate that hardware and get it to install inside of a virtual environment. There was gosh, what was it? I was trying to remember. So one of the network issues you might run into, Stealth, and this was one that my team would frequently run into, and why I told them, hey, don't do networking if you can avoid it, because what happens is, let's say you have a VM here. Anytime it wants to make a network connection, it's actually got to go through an OS service for NAT, network address translation. And then it appears to be coming from the OS NIC and hits whatever your target was. So what happens is you just keep adding entries to this NAT table, especially if you're doing stuff like nmap scans, until eventually it just keels over and dies. It just breaks. So a lot of times they'd have to go back and restart the service. Whereas instead, if they did instead of doing it as NAT, if they did it as a bind interface, it just comes in, it joins directly right here, and it gets this, works exactly the same. It goes and gets its own DHCP address. It acts like it's not even going through this. It looks like it's another machine connected directly to the network. Wait, you can't change it off of... Hold on, are you on using Workstation, or are you using VMware Player? Player? I'm pretty sure you can change that on Player. VMware Player. Change network. That's in VMware Workstation. To bridge. Let's see if this actually mentions if it's in Player. So you can't make this change right here. The Workstation. Okay, I know for a fact you can do this in Workstation unless Broadcom made some changes to it. But you just go into your virtual machine settings, you go to the network adapter, and you change it to bridged. Now, one of the other things you might have to do is there's actually a virtual network editor inside Workstation. VMware. See if anybody's got a good image of where to get it from. Try to see, because here it is, yeah. So you just go up to edit, you go to virtual network editor, and it's going to bring up a window about like this. And you can leave bridged as auto bridging, but if you have multiple network interfaces, I would mainly go select one and say, no, you bridge to this network interface. And then it just passes the traffic directly to that interface. You have to go get your own IP address, statically or DHCP, and it works and it just dumps it on there. Yeah, check and see if you have this option up in the edit menu, virtual network editor. I want to try something real fast here. For shits and giggles, we're going to make a callback subroutine. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to take this output, which is going to be $2. Let's define. We're going to define a.
Hack the planet!
Hack the planet. Gate blocked. What's up, man? How you doing? I don't remember what the hell the syntax is for this, for the local variables. Let me see. Okay, yeah, that's it. I'm gonna do... Killed me, Smalls. We'll do $regex in here. This is going to be a purely local variable for this. So we'll do $regex. It's going to equal something here. I did some random try hack me boxes, so I'm feeling pretty good. Nice, man. Dude, we're just doing a little bit more Kerberos abuse. We're automating a little bit of the silver tickets, and that's probably what we're going to call it tonight. I don't know. We might go mess with the golden tickets too. Depends on how quickly this goes. But what I want to do now, we have this set up where we can pass the parameters and it gives us the TGS back, so that will give us access to something. What I want to do next is actually take this and have it go do an automatic pass to something else, but I got to see if I can get some regex working that matches base 64 in here. So far, yeah. After we went through and we debugged a little bit, we got it working. I need to look at sleep, though. Actually, where's it? It's this one right here. Matches. Matches string pattern. Let me go look at the regex here. I think I can actually use... I think I actually use /s here. Because this is going to be a very long very long... Actually, /w would work. Or \w. Because that's going to match lower and upper and 0 through 9. Oh, is that everything we're going to need, though? No, we could do that, and then also an equals and a plus. That would get us all the base 64 characters. Yeah, pretty much. So there's a couple things I want to do. And in fact, I think after I finish fleshing out the functionality for the silver ticket, we'll probably call it a night there. Because I've streamed really late the last couple nights. And so I need to catch up on sleep a little bit. And so... what I was thinking about doing, though, was messing with a callback that's going to get the base 64 and then immediately do a pass into a sacrificial process and then steal the token. I think that's what I want to do, but it might be a little bit... No, that wouldn't quite work. I have to mess with this because here's what I'm looking at. I want to see if I can get... I wanted to see if I could get PS exec to work using this. And to do that, we have to have access to the host and CIFS services. If we want to do DC sync, we just need like LDAP. If we want to do WinRM, we need host and HTTP. But WinRM's not even enabled in the network, I'm pretty sure. Let me look for something real quick. Rubius. Silver ticket PS. Exactly. That's for passing the ticket. Yeah, and this is actually what I was looking at. Like, here's the different types of tickets you might need for different services. But I want to know, how do I get... Let me think. I'm trying to think how I want to attack this, because I don't know if I need to request. I think what I'd have to do is create a sacrificial process and then pass the ticket to that process. Let me go look at the Rubius PTT command. Let's see here. Ticket manager, pass the ticket. So the PTT action will submit a ticket for the current login session through that. Okay. Or to a specified login session. So what we could do is... So what we could do is we could create a sacrificial process, do a create net only. And when we do the create net only, we can pass in one TGS, and then we can do a PTT and send it to that same process. I think that would work. That's going to be a lot of steps. I don't know if we're going to get through all that tonight. Doing this auto-magically. Let me just try something real quick here. Let's at least see if we can get a regex that matches this right here. Let's do something here. Let's do blog $1, $2. That's going to dump back all the information for us. Our regex is going to be, I think it was \W is what we said. Yeah. But we need W. Wait, double check. Base 64 care. We could try this. Not sure if sleep actually honors the carrot. Oh, it actually does. Okay, we might be able to just use this regex straight as it is. Let's go look at the output again real quick. Yeah, so the output doesn't have any like leading spaces to it. Yeah, let's just try this real fast. Maybe we can save ourselves some headache. In fact, I'm gonna do like 20. Yeah, let's see if this works. It'd be really interesting to see if it works. All right, so let's do dollar. Ticket is gonna equal. I think it's matches. Yeah. And what was the matches? So it's the data and then the regex. That's right. So the data would be $2, and then the regex would be $regex. Then we do blog $1. I'm going to say base 64 ticket equals, then we're going to just append $ticket. There we go. We're going to try this real quick, because if it works, then we'll know that base 64 works. Actually, we got to do one more thing. Oh, come on. There you go. So to get a callback, we need one null and then the callback. All right. So we're going to modify this a bit. So we're going to do pass in a null parameter and then our callback. All right, let's reload this and just see if it works. So I'm going to reload, get this going. We'll make the request again. We should get like almost identical output. Okay, looks like it didn't get it back.
User Slow-Mo J is online.
Slow-Mo J, what's up, dude? Thanks for coming online. Now I need to have something to scan your emails for ROEs and you can run a pen test in your sleep. Yeah, no kidding. Oh my god. So I think one thing we're going to do is after I finish running through all the RTO stuff again and doing a lot of the automation, we're going to make one more pass from the top down. We're going to clean up a lot of the old shit code that was in the beginning when I was still learning the language. And then I'm actually going to try and speed run. I'm going to try to speed run getting like hitting all the flags, I'm going to call it, in the RTO lab. I have to buy more lab time too because I just realized we have 20 hours left. That's like 1 week worth of stream time. Let's see. Okay, so for some reason it did not get our... Let's do something here. So this regex is probably too damn overcomplicated for this. Let's try it. We're gonna do \W. I think this might work. \W. No, actually, it should be \W pipe. I think plus or and pipe equals. I think that's plus. I think that'll work. Let's try this again. I'm actually going to send this down here. There we go. Oh, that's the wrong one. It's this one right here. Let's run it again. So it's still saying our ticket is like an empty array here. Let's see here. Let me check something real fast here. I think we might be able to cheat this a little bit because I think all of these tickets start with DO IFXD. So what we could do is just find the string that starts with that, match everything after it, and call it good. I think that would work. Because this is a base 64 of like a well-known structure of data. Yeah, that might work. I don't like it, but sometimes you got to cheese it a little bit. That's the wrong one. There we go. Actually, I wanted to try something real quick. I just realized I still had this caret in here. It says that should work, but I've noticed sometimes that is an actual... It's a lie whenever we're parsing this kind of output. Let's try this one more time. We take out the caret. Okay, so still didn't pick it up. I'm going to try the quick and dirty way. DOIFXD. I think that was it. Yeah. Indian Foxtrot X-ray Delta. Dot star. I'm going to try and do this the dirty way. I want to see what happens. Okay, that should have worked. Oh wait, am I an idiot? Hang on one sec. I mean, I'm certain I am. Yep. You know what we didn't put in there? We didn't put a capture group. So it could be matching the line, and we don't have a capture group. All right, back it up. Back it up. I'll go all the way back to the fancy one. All right, so those parentheses are what's called a capture group. It says, hey, the stuff in between here that matches, that's what you actually return. I just realized we didn't put a capture group in. There's some more bits for the idiot joke. Okay, so it didn't like that. So now I'm going to try the less fancy way. Because this is pretty much a brute force way of doing this. That's what's happening. Did you really not capture it again? It should just be the first... Okay, maybe we need to adjust this a little bit. Maybe we need to tell it, instead of matches, we just need to get the first match, which would be element 0. I was just complaining about... You know, this is my own fault. I thought I was getting a handle on the damn regex for sleep. I was talking to my boss about it. Yeah, look at that. Piece of shit. Oh, this is my own fault. I jinxed myself. So I was just talking to my boss earlier today, and I told him, hey, this was a bit of a pain in the butt, and I thought I've really got it nailed down now. And, yep, this is my comeuppance. That's what this is. Let me try something here real quick. Let's go back to that, actually, and take out that big line beginning. Because I think that actually might screw it. Go reload this. Try it again. Hey, there we go. Yeah, the line beginning and end. Okay, actually, so now that we have this... It's already so late. How do I want to do this? I'm trying to think. Because if, in theory... If we want to access stuff like WMI, right, we need host and RPCSS. For scheduled tasks, we need host. For just looking at the windows, for the file system, we need CIFS. According to this, though, you really only need access to CIFS for PSExec. You'll also be able to obtain a shell inside the host or execute arbitrary commands with PSExec. See, that conflicts with something that I also was told, where you need host and CIFS to do PSExec. So one thing they're not explaining here is how to handle these, how to get these multiple ticket files. Okay, actually, yeah, you could do pass the ticket, but when you're doing the pass the ticket, you've got to specify where you're going to pass it to. So this actually might work. So what we could do is we could store the ticket. Basically, we got to store it by whatever LUID value it's using. Yeah, so this will submit the ticket for the current login session, which we can't use because this is going to be running in a forked process. If elevated, we can also specify a login session. Let's try something real quick. I just want to run Ruby's triage real fast, which will give us a list of all the tickets and everything in here. All right, so what happens now if we go and create a sacrificial process here? Because what I'm thinking is, we create a sacrificial process, we inject both these tickets into it, but we got to have some way to control the LUID value. It might be this is kind of as far as we're going to get with it for now. I think. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll probably pick up with this on Wednesday. Because tomorrow night we're going to be doing, if he's feeling better, poor guy, he's been feeling horrible. If Salty's feeling better, we're going to do Learning Stream with Salty tomorrow night. So we'll pick up with this on Wednesday. And I think what we're going to do is I actually want to try and build this into some modified versions, right? So like we could tell it, hey, we're going to target using WMI, or using PowerShell remoting, or using WinRM, scheduled tasks, things like that. What I want to do, actually, I'm going to put one more thing in here real fast. We're going to put something else on here. We're going to put a link to the thing there so we can remember, hey, here's some of the ways you can abuse this. All right. If anybody has suggestions on who to go raid, let me know. I am going to throw this up on the GitHub real quick for everybody. Admit that change. Boom. There we go. By the way, for anybody who wants to look at the code we're running right now, there's a link to the GitHub. I update this every night after the stream. So, all right, let's see who's online that we could go raid. Let's go check InfoSec streamers. Yep, and sure enough, we're the only ones. That's how it always goes. All right. Let's go check Science and Tech and see who's online right now. This guy's doing radiation safety training. Interesting. Let's see. I look so dumpy in that little screenshot. Hey, here we go. This guy is doing some Hack the Box. Perfect. Yes, we're going to go raid this guy. So, DJ Chateau. Everybody give him lots of spammed emotes in there. Do the happy hacker. And then we're going to have a good time with this. So, everyone, I hope you'll have a fantastic rest of your night. Remember, the week's just getting started. Nail it. Finish it strong. We're going to hit this thing. We're all going to make it. So, take care. I love you. Peace.
User DJ_Chateau is online.